What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. Today we're going to be doing the match preview for Barcelona versus Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Probably our second last game of the Champions League this season and the last one at home. Look, we're in Mission Impossible territory at this point. We're pretty much 99.4% in the Europa League for the next round. We are relying a lot on a miracle from Viktoria Plzen to get into the round 16. But of course, that does not mean we don't go out there and try to win this match. Of course, we still earn a lot of money from winning games in the Champions League. And also, we do want that big revenge from Bayern Munich. But before we get into it, make sure you guys smash that like button down below. Let's try to get the 200 likes this video. Be very much appreciated. And also, if you're new, make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already. And let's get into it. Kickoff time for this match will be taking place at 9 p.m. local time, so your regular kickoff time in the Champions League. And this match, of course, will be taking place at the Spotify Camp Nou to complete 3 games in a row at home. And the referee for this match has also been confirmed, and it will be the English and controversial referee Anthony Taylor. Let's start off by taking a look at the Champions League table, where Barcelona currently sit in 3rd in the group on 4 points. After playing 4 matches, we only have 1 win, 1 draw, and 2 huge losses. Bayern Munich already qualified top of the group on 12 points after 4 matches. They have 4 wins. Inter 7th points after 4 matches in 2nd place, 2 wins, 1 draw, and 1 loss. So it's very, very simple. Inter played 2 more games against Viktoria Plzen and Bayern Munich. They just need 3 points. If they get a minimum of 3 points, they will qualify. No worries whatsoever. And of course, their game tomorrow is against Viktoria Plzen at home, so they will probably win that match, although a miracle can happen. But again, if they even do drop points against Viktoria Plzen, they then need to drop points also against Bayern Munich, and on top of that, we have to beat Bayern Munich and Viktoria Plzen at a bare minimum. It ain't looking too good. And for Viktoria Plzen to get Europa League, they have to beat Inter, and they also have to beat Bayern Munich, or they can beat one of them and get a draw. Either way, they should not lose. So if they do lose against Inter tomorrow, we're going to be confirmed in the Europa League. That's going to be guaranteed, but it ain't looking too good, ladies and gentlemen. We do need probably the biggest miracle in Champions League history alongside the La Remontada back in 2017, but it ain't looking too good. As we all knew, dropping points against Inter at the Camp Nou, that for me is secure Europa League. Anything else after this, if we somehow salvage it, will be a positive, but it's our own doing. We'll have to wait and see how the game goes, and thank God, I think it's a positive that the game will be taking place before our game. So Inter versus Viktoria Plzen will be the early kickoff. I believe that's 12:45, well, my time, I think 6:45 European time. We will know the result going into our match as well. So if they drop points somehow, more motivation, go out there and win against Bayern Munich. But if they do win, we can just go out there and just try and put our best performance on the pitch at the Camp Nou. But looks like Barcelona are playing Europa League. Let's now take a look at our opponents in Bayern Munich, who you could say right now are definitely top 3 best teams in the world at the moment. They absolutely conquer Europe over the past few years, and also they have been conquering us on the pitch as well. And the last time we faced them, of course, was during the group stages of this season, where we did lose at the Allianz Arena by 2-0. Although if you do remember that match, we did dominate. We were the better team on the pitch, but we just weren't effective in front of goal. Bayern Munich had 2 chances and scored both. Lamps on the screen, of course, but there's going to be no Araujo, of course, for tomorrow, and also no Christensen, but everyone else is fully fit. We could expect maybe a similar lineup to the one that we played in the first leg. Now, Bayern Munich currently sit in 2nd place in the Bundesliga on 22 points, 1 point behind top of the Bundesliga, Union Berlin. So for Bayern Munich, they should be top of the table by now. Of course, they absolutely dominate the Bundesliga, so the fact they're not there is, a big worry. But as you can see, they've only conceded 8 goals in the league. Alongside Union Berlin, they scored 32, where top of the table has scored 19. They're going to win the Bundesliga. Just give them some time. They'll work their way back up. It ain't going to be a worry whatsoever. Now, if you take a look at the last 6 matches in all competition, in their last match, they beat Hoffenheim 2-0. They beat Augsburg 5-2. They beat Freiburg 5-0. They beat Viktoria Plzen 4-2. They drew 2-2 with Dortmund, although they did concede in the final moment. It was modest. I did remember watching that game. And they also beat Viktoria Plzen again at home by 5-0. Let's take a look at the last 3 games, of course. First up, that 5-0 win against Freiburg. Pure domination. Again, they do play the 4-2-3-1 formation, but they did have 4 wingers playing up front, essentially, with Choupo-Moting as the striker. We saw Leroy Sané play as a number 10, although Gnabry, Sadio Mane, they were all interchanging. Again, at home against a lower opposition team. pure domination from Bayern Munich, and also the same for their, I believe this is for the DK, I forget what the Pokal, the Copa del Rey, essentially for Bayern Munich, for the Bundesliga or for the German league. They went out there and they won 5-2 away from home. And I believe Augsburg, the team that they beat them last season, so they had big, motivations coming into this match. They went in there, I think they were 1-0 down actually. I think even they drew the game at some point as well. It was probably 2-2 at some point, but in the end, they walked away from it comfortably, moving into the next round of the cup competition. Over the weekend, they did beat Hoffenheim away from home 2-0. Again, pure domination, although the scoreline does not suggest that. Hoffenheim are a fairly decent team in the Bundesliga, but in the end, smooth sailing for Bayern Munich. Now on the screen right now is Landa. I believe that Julian Nagelsmann will select for Bayern Munich in this match. First in goal will be Ulrich because Neuer is injured. So they do have their backup goalkeeper playing. You can say that's an advantage or not. Back four, I think 99% will be Pavard, De Ligt, Upamecano, and Alphonso Davies. I'd be shocked if anyone else came in. Lucas Hernandez is still injured, so I think that'll be the back five set in stone. Double pivot, I think, will definitely be Kimmich and Goretzka. He could bring in Sabitzer possibly, but Goretzka and Kimmich have been playing as a double pivot for the past few games. And of course, their number 10 is Musiala. I'd watch out for Thomas Muller. He is just coming back from injury. What they could do is put Musiala on the wing and then have Muller as the cam. That could be a possibility. But their two best wingers at the moment are Kingsley Coman and Serge Gnabry. I think them two will definitely start this match. But there is a big question mark at the striker position now. If it's not going to be Sadio Mane, I'm very, very highly sure that he will get moved to the wing. Then one of Gnabry or Coman will drop out. But Choupo-Moting, their backup striker, who was of course a backup for Lewandowski as well, he's been firing recently over the past few games. I think in all the 3 games that I covered, he scored in every single one of them. So he's on form at the moment. He is a pure striker, unlike Sadio Mane. So we could see that. I think that's probably the one thing I am doubting about my lineup selection. But overall, I think they're going to pick a team very, very, very similar to this one. And of course, it is a very strong team, and it will be difficult to beat even at the Camp Nou. So overall, final thoughts on Bayern Munich. Look, they're one of the best teams in the world. They're very well managed by their manager, Julian Nagelsmann. Talking a lot of shit about Barcelona in the media recently, talking about us qualifying, us, about Gavi winning the Copa instead of Musiala, taking a lot of shots at us. So hope we can get some revenge at him tomorrow. But he's a good manager, he has a good team, and they do play good football. Players to look out for again, it's the whole damn team. Sadio Mane, Gnabry, Coman, Kimmich. Who, if I could pick one player from Bayern Munich to bring to Barcelona, it would be Joshua Kimmich. Goretzka as well. Again, he's been taking he's been taking stabs at Barcelona in the media as well. Saying that Lewandowski went from guaranteed quarterfinals of the Champions League to now Europa League and barely qualifying for the round 16. So look, they have the right to do so. They do have our number. They have been beating us, but I hope that we can go out there and just slap them up and just show them who's wrong. But again, they're a strong team. They're great in the pressure, great intensity. They're great up front as well. Strong defense. It's going to be difficult to beat. But for Barcelona, all I can really say is, look, you have to control that game with you being the home crowd, having the stadium behind you. Use that energy. And again, like we learned from the first leg, finish your chances. They come very, very rarely, especially against Bayern Munich, so you have to capitalize on them. Let's now take a look at the squad list. The squad list for this match has been released and confirmed, and it is as follows: Ter Stegen, Bellerin, Pique, Busquets, Dembele, Pedri, Lewandowski, Ansu Fati, Varane, Alonso, Jordi Alba, Kessie, De Jong, Raphinha, Kounde, Eric Garcia, Inaki Peña, Balde, Gavi, Pablo Torre, and Arnau Tenes. So from the last squad list against Athletic Club over the weekend, no changes. We're still missing Christensen and Memphis Depay. I thought at least one of them will be back for this match, but looks like it's not the case. They're still injured, and of course Roberto is out until after the World Cup, and alongside Araujo as well. Other than that, no other changes. Let's now get into Eric Garcia's press conference reaction. As we all know, in the Champions League, a player always accompanies the manager, and if that player does accompany him, 99% he will start the match. And today Eric Garcia was selected. Let's get and see what he had to say in the build-up of this match. He came out saying that qualification is complicated because not everything depends on us. We will start our match knowing the result of Inter, and hope is the last thing to be lost. Against Real Madrid, I made the mistake, and against Inter, I could have been better on the second goal. The criticism are constructive. I am young and I have room to improve. I don't pay attention to the insults and disrespect that I receive from the media. The World Cup is there, but on a personal level, it doesn't affect me. When you play so often every 3 days, you only have time to think about the next game. Of course, talking about him possibly getting injured ahead of the World Cup is going to be more cautious. In Munich, we deserve much more. In Milan, due to different circumstances, we ended up losing, and then what happened against Inter at home happen. That's how you get into this situation. Against Bayern, you have to follow the dynamics of the last 2 games. They are a top team in the world, and it's a good test, as well as a rematch for what happened at their home. All defenders here at Barcelona are different. We all complement each other. They are top world center backs. The best is here, so they make you improve. From each one of them, you could learn and improve a lot from each other. Ansu Fati is recovering at his best level, and he's had it before his injury, and I have no doubt he'll be back in the team very, very soon. Of course, he's asked that because him and Ansu Fati are best friends. Lewandowski is asked to describe Lewandowski in 3 words, saying that, look, it's lucky to have him in the team rather than playing against him. That's not 3 words, but he answered the question. Then asked about Jules Kounde, saying that he already showed his level at Sevilla, and he's a very complete center back. He's also very fast. It's a pleasure to play with him. Also, as young as he is, I think he has a great future ahead of him. Garcia was then asked, do young center backs have more quality with the ball than in defensive tasks? He said that personally, I don't think so. I think our first job is to defend, but then after that, it's an addition that we can play with the ball much better. It'll always just be an asset towards you. It makes him look bad because, he's good with his feet, but defensively, Eric Garcia is a bit suspect, so doesn't really make himself look good there. And finally conclude up by saying that Alejandro Balde is an airplane, and I think he has also benefited from the competition he has in the team, such as with Jordi Alba, who has of course been one of the best left backs in the world over the past few years, and Marcos Alonso, who's very experienced in that position. And that concluded Eric Garcia's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Bayern Munich tomorrow. Time now to get into Xavi's press conference reaction. Of course, his press conference this morning, he was asked a lot of questions from the media. This is quite a long one, so let's get and see what he had to say in the build-up to the match against Bayern Munich. He came out saying, I expect a very intense opponent in Bayern, very physical, very well worked. We consider them one of the best teams in the world, but regardless of what happens in Milan, we must show that we are at a good level with our gameplay and with a victory. We are in this current situation because of our mistakes, and we have to be self-critical. In the miracle, he said, he was asked, do you believe in miracles? He said that, look, we need more than a miracle. We have a small hope, although we are in a very uncomfortable situation. In football, sometimes though, the one who deserves it doesn't always wins. The qualification does not lie in our hands, so we have to try and win no matter what happens in Milan. We must not loosen the mentality after losing the Clasico, looking like everything was a disaster. We recovered with the 2 good games, of course, against Athletic Club and Villarreal, and we have to continue and show that we can compete against the rivals like Bayern Munich, and I 100% agree with that. Hope is the last thing that will be lost in this match. The misfortune is that we are not dependent on ourselves, but the Champions League has been very cruel to us this year. To all the fans, I say the same thing. We need their support, and that we're going to give our all to show that we can still compete against any rivals. The 4 midfielders give us more security with the ball, with fewer losses of the ball. The other day, we understood that very well. We came out well with the high pressure of Athletic Club, but for tomorrow, we also have to be prepared for the way they impose our style against Bayern Munich. We have now been at the desired level in many situations of the competition, like in the Champions League. I think we had it in our hands, and now it no longer depends on us. They have been our mistakes, the team's mistake. It is a collective effort. Then asked about Jules Kounde, saying that, look, Jules Kounde wins duels. He's aggressive, quick at the back, makes recoveries very high up the pitch. He's a brutal defender at his age, leadership, and he's a very high level, and he gives us a lot of security at the back. Then asked about possibly playing as a false 9, like playing a false 9 formation in this match. Look, it depends on the circumstances. It depends on the game as well. I think it's important for the group to have a reference striker, but if that striker is not there, you can adapt to different systems like a false 9, which of course we used to play at Barcelona. He was then asked, what would you ask if you could give a speech right now to Viktoria Plzen, the coaching staff, and the players? What would you say? He said, look, am I here now to manage Viktoria Plzen all of a sudden with already what I have here is too much? That all just that though, we'll watch the game tomorrow. In fact, we're gonna watch it as a team in the dressing room, which I think is a bit of a ropey move there by Xavi, but you know what? They're going to win anyway, so it is what it is. If we get into the Europa League, we will compete like lions to win it. Mourinho calling us the failed sharks of the Champions League. I don't have anything to say to Mourinho. If we play in the Europa League, we will compete in it. I think Mourinho came out saying that, oh, big teams should not be in the Europa League like Barcelona, so took a little jab at us, and you know what? We have to hold that. We are going to be going to the Europa League. And then alongside Eric Garcia, Xavi was also asked 3 words to describe Lewandowski, but he actually gave 3 words. He said that winner, quality, and goal scorer. You could argue that's one word or not. He's then asked about the line for tomorrow. So have you decided that now? You can decide that after the Inter Milan match. What's gonna be your move there? He said that, look, I've already decided my lineup yesterday. It's clear where I'm gonna pick regardless of what happens in Milan. So Xavi already picked his lineup yesterday, which I think is a bold move from him as well. Everyone's ready to play in any competition. Marcos Alonso is adapting very well at center back position, and Ball is doing very well. He's at a spectacular physical level, and I'm also happy with Jordi Alba. All three are doing very well. Then asked about Sergio Busquets, say that look, we are not here to test players, we're here to win games and to win competition. I believe a lot in Busi and in the players I have. He's very important. The other day he helped us in a great game against Villarreal. Frankie plays the pivot, and of course we will see for this match. Then asked about an injury update on Andreas Christensen, saying that we will try to have Christensen available by this weekend. Then about Ansu Fati, saying that look, Ansu Fati is fine. When we thought that he was convenient for him to participate, he has, and he has performed well. He has been very important when he plays. Ansu's role should be the same as any other player in the squad. It's a game of revenge against Bayern Munich for the team and also for Lewandowski, who didn't score in Munich. He was then asked again about Franck Kessie back-to-back press conference about his minutes. He was asked, will Kessie play in this match that we'll have to see tomorrow? He's an important player who extended very well in the last game. He's good and gave us depth in the team and wins individual strengths, 1v1 battles. He's an important player for us and also for the team. And lastly, Xavi ended off by giving us an update on the injury of Sergio Roberto, saying that look, I have a lot of confidence in Sergio Roberto, and his absence is very sensitive. It's a pity about his injury because he was at his best level. We have recovered Bellerin, and there's also the option of Jules Kounde, but Bellerin now has an opportunity to take, and he is 100% focused and ready for that chance. And that concluded Xavi's press conference reaction ahead of the match against Bayern Munich tomorrow. Let's now get into the lineup prediction. We're going to start with the manager, of course, Xavi Hernandez. I'm going to try my best with this lineup. Again, it will be very difficult to predict. What formation will he go with? We stick with the 4 in the midfield, make rotation. Of course, we do have big matches over the weekend against Valencia away from home. I have no idea, but I have gone with this lineup on the screen right now. I think I'll go with Ter Stegen in goal, a back 4 of Bellerin, Kounde, Eric Garcia, Marcos Alonso, midfield 3 of Busquets, De Jong, and Pedri, and a front 3 of Raphinha, Lewandowski, and Ousmane Dembele. I think Xavi's going to bottle it yet again. I think he will go with his Champions League lineup, which I don't know why includes Alonso at left back. I think the 2 center backs set in stone. Of course, Bellerin. We have no one else. In the midfield, I think he will make some rotation. I think after Gavi's big blow in the balls over the weekend, I don't think he'll start him. I think what he'll do is he'll move Frankie a bit more advanced and have Busquets sitting as the pivot. Of course, Pedri will start. And also in the front line, I think, again, I've said this a lot over the past few weeks, one of Ansu or Varane should be starting, and then one of Dembele or Raphinha should be starting. But I think Xavi will ball it again. I think if he does bring one in, it will be Varane. I don't think he'll start Ansu, but I have a funny feeling that Raphinha will start. Of course, Raphinha did not play a single minute over the weekend. I think there's a reason behind that. So this is very much a stab in the dark for myself. We are hearing reports that Xavi is considering going with the 4 in the midfield again, but we'll have to wait and see. It is a big lineup selection for Xavi, but that's not anything that Xavi Hernandez will select for this match. But of course, let me know what you think Xavi's going to pick down in the comments below. Now I'm going to show you guys my lineup, what I would do if I was the Barcelona coach, and I have made a few changes from Xavi's lineup. I've gone this lineup on the screen right now. I've gone with Ter Stegen in goal, a back 4 of Bellerin, Kounde, Eric Garcia, Alejandro Balde, midfield 3 of De Jong, Gavi, and Pedri, and a front 3 of Ousmane Dembele, Lewandowski, and Ferran Torres. Firstly, in the back 5, Balde starting for me. I will be fuming if Xavi does not start him. He has to start. He was so good over the weekend. Also, why doesn't he start in the Champions League? Is there like some rule in his contract that he can't start in the Champions League? He needs the experience, and I think, you know what, at the moment, no doubt about it, he is our best left back. The rest of the 4 rest of them are set in stone. Midfield 3, I'm sticking by my guns. I've said it before, I said it again. The captains at the top level are finished. So I'm starting De Jong, Gavi, and Pedri. If you want to start 4 in midfield, I'm bringing Kessie. I would keep Busquets far away from this lineup as possible. Bring him on as a sub, maybe last 20 minutes, sure, no problem, but starting this match far away from me. And the front 3, of course, I'm sticking by my word. One of Ousmane Dembele and Raphinha, one of Ansu and Varane. So I have gone with Dembele and Varane, the 2 most informed, you could say, wingers in my opinion. Of course, up front will be the best striker in the world, Robert Lewandowski, and that's the line that I would select for this match. But of course, let me know in the comments below, would you rather pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup? Time now for my score prediction. What do I believe the result will be in this match? I have sat on the fence and I have gone Barcelona drawing this match 1-1, 2-2, 0-0, whatever the case may be. I really don't think that the Inter Milan match will have an impact on us, because we already have that feeling that we're in the Europa League. So if they end up winning, we're like, okay, same feeling. But if they end up dropping points, it hopefully will give us that extra boost. But I still think they don't fail to surprise me, Barcelona. They always crumble under pressure, so that's my mentality going into this. I think even if Inter Milan drop points, we'll probably come to this match hopefully we'll win, but I don't know, man. I'm already Europa League mentality, so we'll wait and see. I am begging for a win. We haven't beat Bayern Munich so damn long, man. They keep roasting us in the media, and it pisses me off. I'm begging for a win. I would honestly, if you told me Inter Milan beat Viktoria Plzen, but you beat Bayern Munich 5-0, I'm taking Bayern Munich 5-0 because we're already in the Europa League. That's already my mentality, so I'm taking that. I really want to beat Bayern Munich, but I think in the end their quality is too high. And I think we will draw this match. Hopefully not lose, but I think most likely an outcome. But I think the most likely outcome of this match is a draw, but of course, leave me your score predictions down in the comments below. So that was a match preview for Barcelona versus Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, and of course, leave me your thoughts down below in the comments on everything we discussed. But the main thing on our firstly, of course, is your score prediction, and secondly, on those lineups. Firstly, would I pick my lineup or Xavi's lineup? What do you think Xavi would go with? What would you go with? You're the manager. Leave me all your thoughts down below, and of course, make sure you guys subscribe down below as well if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the live watch along. Set the reminder on the screen and come and join me and watch the game with me. Follow for the match by my match review. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Big game ahead. This for me will be the definitive test whether or not Barcelona can compete against the big teams or not. We'll wait and see if we pass that test or fail. Take care and Forza Barca.